Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Velen, and this is Tetra, a tool modification mod that actually takes vanilla stuff and turns it into advanced weaponry and machine tools. All sorts of really cool stuff. Definitely worth a look at, and I think that you should stick around to learn a lot more about this mod here. A real quick thank you to mickelus, the mod dev, for helping me with this, so let's hope that I can help you guys to better understand and play with this mod. It's a really, really good mod that is similar to Tinker's Construct, but without smelteries, and instead you have like some special secret storyline that you need to follow. There will be spoilers in this, so if you want to learn all about this stuff and what it does, and how to make some really cool advanced weaponry as well as tools that can, well, just outdo vanilla stuff by far, but you can tweak it to whatever you want, then you might want to stop now. Otherwise, stick around. So there may be certain things out in the world that you're going to want to start with. And in fact, I will tell you that if you want to learn this for yourself, I recommend using this stuff here, crafting a mallet and stuff, you know, spelunking and the basic tinkering tabs for your advancements will walk you through this. Otherwise, the first steps of this mod is, as I just said, create a mallet. You're going to want to take a couple of these and a couple of, let me turn this into cheaty mode because I'm in God mode right now, as one might be. Let's take a oak log. There you go, a log mallet. And that's just the beginning of stuff. But if you click on a crafting table, boop, you turn it into a workbench, which then has this little UI or user interface. You can put the log mallet in here, and then you can change around its parts and pieces. But don't think that this is the end of it. You can just, you know, slap in whatever you want, you know, the most advanced part and piece. There are certain restrictions, and you will need to actually advance your own tools in order to make more tools. But just know that this is a really good starting point. What I recommend is that you start with a few basic tools when you're first starting out, and that's usually going to be, let's grab a few of these here. I'm going to make myself a wooden sword. It doesn't matter what it's made from because it's going to be the vanilla stuff to start with. And then we're also going to make a pick, and you can also make, you know, like axes and things like that. But as you can see, I've kind of run out of space. But if you make a log mallet, you'll get one of these. Will pop into your inventory, a hollow sphere. At a touch, the sphere projects diagrams and glyphs onto nothingness. It's proof of advanced machinery and weaponry and all sorts of interesting things. You right-click it, and it kind of gives you a materials stats. If you are familiar with Tinker's Construct, you know, the materials in U-Book, this is like that, but it's well, a lot different. These other tabs here are for future content that is not currently in the game, so don't think that these are going to be unlocked at the time of this video, at the very least. Now, there are currently several items in here, and this is a mod in progress. There's more content coming down the line, but it's far enough along that you can easily take this to end game any way you want to go at it. There are tool belts, which you can use to carry extra stuff and do extra things, like even like jet boots and whatnot. You've got blades, which you can change from daggers to great swords to you've just got a lot of options in here. You've got bows that you can have from recurve to long bows, your standard bow, and so on. And then you've got your tools like your axes, your paxels, your hammers, your all sorts of stuff can be made in here. And if you want to see any of the information on the different things, like let's say I want to know the different blade types that I can put on a sword. Well, first you have to choose what blade you want to choose. A machete, a heavy blade, which is sort of like a two-handed sword, a regular simple blade, which is like your standard vanilla stuff, or a short blade, more or less a short sword / dagger type. Well, let's choose machete. And these are all the different blade types that I currently have. Now, I don't have resource adding mods currently installed, but this does have some compat with some other mods that add in things. Like, for example, we'll say maybe steel or electrum or copper or lead, your typical other metals and ores that you might find in a mod pack. It does have some compat with a lot of different mods like that. Now, it tells you the different bonuses and benefits of each one. You can see even the woods. If we go down here, wooden machete, you've got birch, acacia, stone, dark oak, jungle, spruce, even the different types of wood have different benefits. So it's something to keep in mind, and it's a very useful item that you'll probably want to store and keep safe for the future. You don't want to lose that. And you can always get more, perhaps, but maybe not. I don't know. Either way, you get one when you first start, and it's a really handy tool. So keep it safe, keep it secret, and make sure to also share with your friends at the same time. So if you want to start crafting stuff, you're probably going to want, now that you've got your basic tools, you can actually, upgrade these as it is. You know how usually you make your first wooden pick, you mine out a bunch of stone, and then you burn that pick or throw it away or whatever because you don't want to use it. It's too darn slow. No longer do you need to do that. Instead, you can put it in here and you can upgrade it straight away. So right now, I've got a whole bunch of materials in my list, and you'll probably start seeing some of them light up. And something that I should mention is that over time, as you are mining, out adventuring, exploring, unlocking things and whatnot, you might find these geodes, which if you have one of these workbenches, you can put geodes as well as many other things like pristine diamonds, pristine emeralds, and pristine lapis lazuli. And you can, with the proper tool, break them open and get rewards like different gemstones and nuggets and ores and stuff like that from those. So they're like extra treasures is what those are. And just for the sake of inventory space, I'm going to take those out, put those in there now that my reminder is done. So if I take my wooden pickaxe and I want to upgrade it, I can therefore just put it in here and replace it with, let's say, I want to replace both of the ends because it actually has two parts. It's got the front of the pick, the back of the pick. It's got the handle and, of course, a binding option, which not everything is required in here. You'll see integrity on here. You've got your different stats up here. It's got a mining pickaxe tier of 1. You've got your average speed and stuff. Every extra benefit and whatnot is going to be listed up here at some point. If you want, you can even repair it. You just click on here, you put the material that it's made from to repair it with in here, and then you'll want to do that. But, oh look, I don't have an axe. Oh no. Well, sometimes just making these things can be helpful, but in this case, I'm not going to because we're going to make our own axe. Oh wait, that's going to be a little bit challenging now that I think about it because, well, if I had... There we go. You sometimes have to have a tool in your inventory to modify this tool. At the very beginning, making a bunch of wooden tools is just a good starting point. After that, you'll probably just have like 1 or 2 extra tools in your chest for tinkering and making these things. So let me actually get to upgrading this. Let's click on the wooden pick. Now I click on it and you've got so many options. It's very overwhelming. Keep it simple. If you want to pick, you want to pick, all right? So you make a pickaxe head. I click on here. It says pickaxe head. You've got different options on the side here to choose from. You can choose the details and it will tell you all the information about this here. You can choose this to go to the crafting tab and it can then, you have your choices of what items you want to go to. And in the future, you might have an option to tweak, but just know that that is not going to happen currently, at least, without having things bolted. So you're not really going to use tweaking on very many things at all. And in fact, it's usually only going to be on binding. But let's go to the details. Wooden pick, basic pickaxe head that can be used for mining. Double pickaxe heads may provide synergy bonuses. And this is commonplace with a lot of things. There's a lot of synergy with the different parts and how they might work, whether they be balance or whether they just function together. Now in this case, it says repair material. This module has no potential synergy bonuses. You potentially can do that. So let's just pick this. We're going to go to the crafting tab here. We're going to make a pickaxe head on one side. We're actually going to upgrade that. Now, can I go straight to iron? I can, if I've already mined it up. But if I'm starting out with a wooden pick, I will not have had that opportunity to get there yet. So let's say I go to cobblestone, right? Just by hovering over these things, it tells you the different benefits. Any of these different stone types will allow you to actually do this. And if you want to know, just put a bunch of them in there. We could make it out of this. It's still going to be a stone pick, even though it's andesite. You can click craft and pow. I now have one part of that pick is stone, which even though it's made from andesite. Now, just for argument's sake, let's click this side. And instead of going with another pick, because it's already able to mine blocks at this point, you know what? I want to kind of compromise my tools and combine them a bit. Let's make an adze head. Don't know what it is? Click on it. craft an adze head from the given material. The adze can primarily be used for digging, but can also be used for chopping wood. Okay, well, if I don't want that, I can choose something else. I can choose a tool butt, which will just make it a one-sided pick, and the other side won't really do anything. It says uses the backside of a single-sided tool, typically yields faster swing speed than a double-sided tool. Can sometimes be used for hammering if crafted from a sturdy material. So you have multiple options with this stuff. A claw. The claw can be used for prying things open, which will be important later on, and quickly break most wooden blocks. But it doesn't actually count as any kind of axe in this case. So you know what? Rather than make like a pickaxe, you could actually just put an axe head on the other side. Double axes, of course, have synergy bonuses and whatnot for that. But let's choose an adze. That way we've got a pick, we've got an axe, and we've got a shovel all in one. And because I'm just kind of upgrading things, let's just choose regular stone. Won't really make a difference. You can see the magic capacity is dropping. And this is just it's if you're to enchant it. You can actually enchant these items in an enchanting setup, or by inserting books as well. But we're going to get to that in the future. There we go. I click craft. Now if I want, I can always repair the item. Don't forget, just by clicking here, and it'll tell you the material you need here. If you need multiples of it, it'll tell you need 2 of them before it will actually allow you to repair these things. Then you can click that and you can repair it. So right now I've got a cobblestone pickmatic, therefore allowing me to mine, dig, and chop. Now I could demonstrate that, but I'm sure that you've all seen this before in many different uses. You'll notice that there's integrity use down here. This is going to be important for upgrading your tool. Let's say that I've then used this and I've mined up a whole bunch of stuff. Well, I would like to actually upgrade this to an iron pick, if possible. So let's go with the pickaxe head. I'm going to put this in here. I craft that. I then want to upgrade my adze head to iron as well. Put that up here. And, oh wait, I can't do that. Why not? The integrity is not good enough. So you're going to need to increase your tool. Right now you see here, flimsy handle, no binding. Sometimes you need to upgrade your tool a little bit before you can upgrade your tool in the end, I guess. It kind of sounds a little weird, but you can add in a new handle. You can see all the different things are highlighted in my inventory for what the different materials are. And I'm giving you a good snapshot of the different types of stuff that you'll probably end up needing or using in most, if not all cases, in order to upgrade and use in your tools. Like I said, if you add in extra mods, things are going to change. The mod itself may also change over time, but this should be a very general and good guideline for you to get started. And these, by the way, are end rods, but some of this stuff is not going to be usable. Like, let's say for a handle, I can put an end rod in here. Holy cow, look at those. Look at the durability goes up. The speed goes down a little bit, but that's just swing speed. You know what, let's do that. That sounds great. But look, crafting is grayed out. It says here, this action requires a tier 4 hammer. You have tier 1 available, which is this log mallet. So we can't upgrade it straight away to something totally end game. That's the whole idea. Well, what if I put this here? Oh, that requires a level 2. All right, well, what do I do here then if I want to upgrade this better than the stick that is currently in place? Well, you can put wood. You know, if you look here, each one will give some kind of option. Let's put wood in here, and that does give a little bit there. You know, your integrity has gone up some, but you can also add in a binding, or you can socket in a gem. If you look here, you can put in some of these here, which let's put in an emerald. It requires a little bit of XP if you're to do so. It will add in a crit percentage, durability bonus, whereas diamonds will add in just a massive durability, as well as some other general perks similar to Tinker's Construct. Lapis adds in an ability that is very beneficial. It adds in Intuit, which experience gained from killing entities and destroying blocks yields honing progress at a 1x ratio. Honing progress? Yes. As you use the tool, this encourages you to want to keep the same tool. It will actually gain its own XP. So it's sort of like Tinker's Construct with that tool leveling, but not quite as extreme. Now you'll notice up here that my pick level is 3, shovel and axe is 1. That's because the back here, the adze, is only made of stone. So as you upgrade the material, you're going to have better tier items. Now in this case, I recommend actually taking it out and upgrading your mallet, because this one is going to count for synergy bonuses. If you notice here, it's a tier 1 hammer. You need to upgrade that. And this is important for how you can progress with this mod. With a hammerhead, Let's make it out of stone to start with. Yes, and then craft, and then we can go over here and we can make the hammer on the opposite side. You're going to want to keep one double-sided hammer just for upgrades, and this is pretty much going to be throughout. It'll be very useful in the end, trust me on that. But there you go. This is now a level 2 hammer. Now, if I wanted to increase this further, I might need to increase my, let's see, the integrity. I could even add in some binding. Let's add in a binding material. We've got leather, bolts, vines, rabbit hide string. You know what, let's go with rabbit hide, because look at that. The integrity actually goes up to 5, which the integrity is right here when I use rabbit hide, which, oh no, I need a level 2 of a knife or a cutting implement of some sort. Oh man, well, let's actually switch that up. It's not that bad though. This is going to encourage you to upgrade all of your tools as you progress instead of just one and you can just slap parts on. It's got a progression to it, my friends, and it's really good. In this case, I recommend a short blade just because it's going to be easier to work with. And as you can see, there are different stats for the different wood types. This is very effective for this. So what I do recommend is something that uses little to no integrity, because this is going to be a tool that will just help you get to the next level if you want. Now, there's no stone for this because I just chose a short blade in this case because it's just going to be easier to get to level 2 for this. And in that case, can I put this down? Why, yes, I can't. As one might expect. What about flint? There we go. That gets it to level 2. That works pretty darn good. All right, well, craft. Done. I now have a flint dagger. And now if I put my hammer back in here and I add in a binding of some material like rabbit hide, I now have a level 2 cutting implement in my inventory. Notice when I pick it up, it turns red and grays out. Yep. That's exactly it here, and it requires 2 rabbits, or rabbit hides, not necessarily rabbits. You can obviously use any of the other ones that you want, but there you go. The binding is there. It now has a lot of integrity. I can even upgrade the handle. Let's put in place a bone handle. There we go, and that integrity has gone up even more to 6. Plus, it's increased other stats as well. So if I hover over here, you can see the durability was increased by using the bone handle. Now, if I want, I can still upgrade that further with either enchants or wrapping the handle. Not everything is going to upgrade your tools. Keep that in mind. But in this case, it looks like it might. But it does use up some integrity. And this is another thing, is that sometimes you don't want to use integrity, other times it won't make a difference. You can remove most of these things or replace these parts, but if they are enchanted, then you will likely miss or lose the enchantment. And be wary that if you exceed your magic limitations on this weapon, it may become cursed in many different ways that can be really interesting. So let's actually just go something simple. We'll put some leather on here. We'll make it a leather wrapped handle. There we go. So we now have a stone hammer with a leather wrapped handle. Pretty darn cool. Can I upgrade this further now with my regular stuff and get this to a higher level? Because the higher level you have, the higher level you can upgrade your other tools. Because remember, this ran out of integrity. But it also means that if we're going to want to upgrade this even further, let's see here, because there are limits on where you can actually access with some of these tools. Let's choose the, or is it the ADSI head? Got this here. That's 4 out of 4 integrity. We're going to craft that. We now have an iron pickmatic, which is great. Can I upgrade this even further? Let's go with a pickaxe head and let's choose a diamond. There we go. Yes, looks like we can. Hey, that's pretty darn good, and understandably as well. But keep in mind that if you have something like a diamond, put this in place, it will not work in the way that you think it does in some ways. Like, let's go with, let's X this out. You can go back to this screen here. You can actually just click on there and check the details. A basic pickaxe head that can be used for mining. Diamond pick. Double pickaxe head may provide synergy bonuses, etc. Repair material, and it has no potential synergy bonuses currently. But if you look, it says arrested, like magic capacity 10 out of 10. So you can enchant things. If I were to get an enchant book, I will actually grab something here. See if I can find, let's see, Unbreaking 2. That looks good. But here, look, arrested. This module is crafted from materials that will not settle over time. Remember I talked about honing earlier? There's honing and there's settling, and both of those will allow you special tweaking options on your tools. If I choose over here, settled progress, 0%. As the item is used, this module will slowly settle into place. Once settled, its integrity cost will decrease. And you can see it's got a progress of 0 out of 271. Required base 200, durability penalty 71. So as you use this, it will then start doing a whole bunch more. Its durability is 945, so I think it's gonna last for a bit. But let's actually add on to the the pick. I'm gonna want to replace this, if only because of I'm going to actually use this and show you guys what's going on. Let's replace it with iron. We're gonna put on the ADC, we're gonna put this, and I don't know if this is actually how it's pronounced. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I've never actually said the word before this video, but still. Let's go over here. And the iron pick part, we can enchant this. That's right. You can enchant and apply the enchantment. Oh, no, wait, it's not working because some enchants will apply to certain parts. Like you've got the pick, you've got the ADC, and you've got the handle, you've got the binding. Let's go with the handle. Can I actually upgrade this? It's a basic wooden handle. I'm not really bothered by that. So let's just try clicking back, enchant, and if I have enough levels, I do, you can see that the magic capacity goes down by 6 by using Unbreaking 2. I click craft, and that has brought it down. It's now an enchanted Unbreaking 2 Iron Pick Matic. Now, it doesn't work everywhere on every tool part, so you're going to want to be very cautious with that. But just know that, if I can get over here, I'm going to mine out a bunch of this in survival, of course. All right, I'm going to mine over here with or excavate in here. And you can see, look, a module has settled. A module has settled. All sorts of stuff has happened with this Iron Pick Matic. Let's go back over to our little base of operations and check it out. All right, clicking it back into here, and if I check out like the wooden handle and the iron pick settled, the diamond ADC doesn't do that. So that's because it's the diamond quality. It gives really good benefits, but then it won't have those extra options. So click over here, we've got, nothing really too interesting has changed. Fully settled. This module has fully settled. It is providing additional integrity. So the integrity just went up 1 level just by using this tool. And don't forget, you can still just repair it very easily. It doesn't use any XP levels or anything. The wooden handle, fully settled. It also provides full integrity. We had this, I believe, at 4 out of 4. Now it's at 6 out of 6. Now, if you use this often enough, you'll probably also gain a honing bonus for most of like your weapons and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just really good. And hammers, by the way, doing all this stuff, because I was in creative right there, it wasn't actually accessing any durability on these items. But as you're currently switching these items out, so let's say that this here, I want to switch out the diamond for iron for some reason. Let's just say I want to. It's nothing really specific. So we're going to choose an ADC. We're going to put in the iron. We're going to craft. And you notice that the durability bar is now here. This is actually being used. So if I bring this back up here, you can see that it has a durability of 664 to 665. That is how your hammers work, as well as your other tools, perhaps your flint, your daggers or your axes or things of that nature will do so. And what I recommend doing is just doing this so that you have a chopping tool, a pick, a shovel, get yourself a dagger, and you've got all these tools readily available, as well as 2 hammers. Now, I'm going to recommend that you don't go with the hammer, just this one hammer. I like to have something like, what do we got here? We've got an iron claw hammer going on over here. Iron hammer on one side, so that I can have 2 hammer ability, which I'm able to get up there because I have this stone hammer. And then the other one with an iron claw. The reason being is because of the exploration part of this mod. There is so much to it. Underground caverns and things that you can do to upgrade your tools and weaponry. Real briefly, I'm going to say that there are bows and whatnot that you can also upgrade. If you want to get into adjusting the limbs or things of that nature, you might need to add in some bolts before you can actually switch things out. Your swords, you've got like heavy obsidian blade, a counterweight that is based upon all the other parts added on to this makes your sword do different damage. Currently, this swings at 1.86 and does 15.4 damage per swing. And it swings in a really big area too. Let me tell you, it also has mending and sharpness 5. It's really good. And rod for a handle, so it also aggravates any endermen that are nearby. It's really cool. Moving on, we also have the tool belt. This here, which, yes, I was showing you how to use things. Now we're showing you all the different items. There are so many different things that you can have on here. Potion bag, booster, which is really fabulous, by the way. Let me just switch this out. And just by jumping and holding jump, I'm getting a little bit of a rocket jump out of that, because when I right-click this, I've got gunpowder in there and a booster equipped on the tool belt. In order to make a tool belt, you'll first need to make some rope, which actually isn't too bad. Rope is just a little bit of string, and then once you've got that, you put it in here. You're going to want to add some leather straps to this, you know, whatever you want to do for that. You can switch out the rope for woolen sash, which obviously you're going to need some wool. Let's grab a little bit of that. Craft, and I get rid of the excess because my inventory is like totally packed right now. And then from the wool sash, you can then upgrade that again with leather, craft, and then from the leather wrap, you can add in a belt buckle, which is going to be iron, and that requires a hammer that is level 3, which I don't have on me at the moment, and that will get you your average tool belt, which has tons of upgrades. But that was just me showing you some of what that's all about. Let me switch this back out. There we go, and in fact I'll get rid of that axe. But if you look, we've got like iron loops, which allows a quiver, storage pouches, extra belt straps, so much good stuff. Now if you keep this on your hotbar, you can open it by right-clicking, and you have 3 spaces that you can store stuff in. So it's sort of like a mini backpack of sorts. But you notice it has quick access and Shift V to restock. So if you hold V, it actually brings it up over here. You can click on the items, switch them out as you need to, or Shift V to restock the items if you want to. Now, in that case, I had steak in my offhand, so therefore I was able to do that. It's pretty neat. Yes, I like it quite a bit. Now, anyway, let me allow me to show you a little bit more of what's going on, because the tool belt in itself is really cool. So are the swords, hammers. The mixture of tools that you can make. The bows, they shoot in so many different ways. Slower shots to more powerful and so on. Using release hatches, which, by the way, quick latches, if you find any of these, having them in your inventory during this is going to be very important, because therefore it sometimes will allow you to find out that you can use special abilities that some of these tools may have. Let me show you some of the structures so that we can actually get this thing set up and on the road here. I'm going to get rid of that because we don't need it at the moment. And I'm going to want those iron because we need to upgrade this hammer to something a little bit more durable. In fact, I forgot to grab my other hammer. Let's grab this one here will do. There we go. I have another hammer in here. This one I believe is... See, it's got honing progress on there as well. Really good stuff. Oh, this one here, iron hammer, hammerhead, real quick. Sorry, I usually would have this already set up. Craft, there we go. 2 iron on both sides makes it level 3. And that's the highest you can get of a hammer by just using these tables. If you want to get higher than that, which I'm sure you do, my friends, you will need the assistance of the founders.